What if I told you that in just 2 years, Japan will launch something that makes rockets look like ancient history? A secret project so revolutionary, it could change humanity's relationship with space forever. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. While everyone's watching SpaceX and NASA, Japan's Obayashi Corporation has been working in complete secrecy on what engineers call the holy grail of space travel, and they've set a firm launch date, October 2026. But here's what makes this urgent. China and the US have similar projects, and whoever builds this first controls access to space. This isn't just about technology, it's about who dominates the final frontier. For decades, the space elevator was considered impossible. The main problem? No material strong enough to build a cable 35,786 kilometers long. That's reaching all the way to geostationary orbit. But in 2023, Japanese scientists made a breakthrough they've kept quiet about. They developed a carbon nanotube composite 100 times stronger than steel, but lighter than aluminum. And here's the crazy part. They're already manufacturing it at a secret facility in Hokkaido. But wait, it gets even more incredible when you see how they plan to deploy this monster cable. Most people imagine the space elevator anchored on land, but Japan's doing something completely different. They're building it on a massive ocean platform in the Pacific, 500 kilometers off the coast. This location is strategic for two shocking reasons. First, it avoids aircraft routes and population centers. Second, and this is where it gets really interesting, the equatorial position gives them perfect alignment with geostationary orbit. The platform itself is an engineering marvel, 2 kilometers across, stabilized by AI-controlled thrusters, and capable of withstanding Category 5 typhoons. But here's the question everyone's asking. How do you actually build something that reaches into space? This is where Japanese engineering gets truly mind-blowing. They're not building the cable all at once. Instead, they'll launch what engineers call the seed ribbon, a hair-thin 2-centimeter wide strip of carbon nanotubes. A specialized spacecraft will carry this ribbon into orbit, then slowly lower it back to Earth while simultaneously climbing higher. Over 18 months, robots will climb this initial ribbon, adding more material until it's 1 meter wide. These climbing robots are solar-powered, travel at 200 kilometers per hour, and work 24/7. But here's the most shocking part. What happens when something goes wrong? Imagine a cable snapping. The energy release would be cataclysmic, equivalent to a nuclear explosion. Japanese engineers have developed a fail-safe system so advanced it borders on science fiction. The cable contains 12 redundant strands. If one fails, the others take the load. But here's where it gets really clever. The entire system is monitored by quantum sensors that can detect stress changes at the atomic level. If danger is detected, explosive bolts separate the cable into sections that burn up in the atmosphere. And this leads us to the most mind-blowing question of all. What will this actually be used for? The real revolution isn't the elevator itself, it's what it enables. Once operational, the cost to reach orbit drops from $10,000 per kilogram to just $100. Suddenly, space manufacturing becomes affordable, asteroid mining becomes realistic, orbital hotels become possible. But here's the most shocking part. Japan isn't just building a transportation system. They're creating the infrastructure for humanity to become a multiplanetary species. This single structure could launch more payload to space in 1 year than all rockets in history combined. The 2026 launch isn't just an engineering milestone, it's the beginning of a new era for our species.
So, what do you think? Will Japan actually pull this off by 2026? And more importantly, what happens when space becomes as accessible as air travel? The countdown has begun, and the implications are staggering. If you want to stay ahead of discoveries that reshape our world, hit subscribe and tap the bell, because the future isn't coming, it's being built right now, and we'll be here to show you every breakthrough.